Hi, my name is Janice Sorensen and I'm going to show you how to make a really cool Halloween mask. I'm going to show you how to make one that is a blue frame, and for that you can paint your face red or blue or yellow like the images you can see, and I will show you how to make one that we'll call Flower Power, and you can do all sorts of different color changes for that. And I will show you how to do an abstract painting. So there are so many possibilities. My husband and I went to a Halloween party recently and people raved about our costumes, so I thought I would show you how you can do it too. So the first thing you will need to do is get out your supplies. Cover your table with plastic. I'm just using a couple of pieces of tape to secure it. What we're going to be creating ultimately is this, which without glasses goes over your head. And later I'll show you how to paint your face, and that's really fun. So we're going to be making a canvas. Here's the other one. This is the one my husband wore. So this goes on and ties. One has a tie and the other has a piece of elastic stapled to it. So to make that kind, what you will need is a stretcher frame. This is 11 by 14. This one is 12 by 12. And this one is 14 by 11. So you have your stretcher and your canvas, and you're going to, it rips really easily. The next thing you're going to do is start by putting a staple in on each side. You're not going to staple one whole side first, and if you had a canvas stretcher, that would be awesome. Pull it really as tight as you can by hand, which for this purpose really will be enough. So you start right in the middle and then you go diagonally, and that keeps it from getting big wrinkles and whatnot. And then you do your little tricky corner. Everybody's got their own favorite way of doing a corner on a canvas. I take mine to a point like this, fold it down this first edge and press it flat, and then with this little extra, fold that over. So you'll want to fold and staple those other three corners, and don't worry about the slight wrinkles. The gesso will tighten that up. I'm just going to make a little bit of a guess. Make it a little smaller at first because you can absolutely increase. And then I'm going to cut an X and an X here. So cutting an X, and then I'm going to cut these sides too so that I can then fold it. So now you've cut away the inner part and have little notches, and what we're going to do next is to glue these side pieces down, and I'm using Sobo stitchless fabric glue, which I love. This stuff is so much fun, and in fact another time I can show you how to do image transfers using this fabulous stuff. It's not only good for fabric, it's good for lots of other things, but for fabric it's the go-to glue. So what I'm doing is putting the glue in between and pressing it down. So I'm going to put a little pressure on here just for a second to hold it in place till it gets, you don't need a ton for each thing. If you use too much, it actually just gets sort of slimy and pulls away. So you want enough to make it tacky. Just give it a little time, wait for it to dry. So this is what we end up with. So I put that over by the wood stove just to give it a little dry heat. And while you're waiting for that to dry, go put on some grubby clothes like these. So next, take your, get anything precious off the table that you don't want to get paint on. Those things, whatever, laid away. And open your gesso. And gesso your canvas. My gesso's pretty old and kind of watery, but it's working. And I'm using a nice thick brush that will hold my watery gesso, but it will make the application of the paint go a lot more smoothly. I'm going to even do the back of this for the heck of it. For this one, I did the back of it too, just because I knew I was going to be moving around at this party and just wanted the back to be blue also. Attention to detail is always a good thing, except when you're in a hurry. Smooth the front out. Quick little coat to that. Make sure I get that little edge there. And if there's any there's a little something or other on the surface, get it off now so you don't have to sand it down. Not that it would really be a big problem for this purpose. Okay, so now's another wait and let it dry time. Okay, so now this canvas is dry and it's time to draw your outline of your flowers and paint your frame. So I'm just gonna fill in around the areas where I've drawn my flowers, because I don't want to paint on top of green. I want the white of the canvas. If some of my colors are a little translucent, that'll look really beautiful to have the light reflecting off the white canvas and through the paint. And I'm enjoying the undulation of color. I'm going for that. I'm wrapping the colors around from the front, including the flowers. I've given some flower petals over the edge there. And the way I've mixed my colors, this green is a phthalo green, which is a transparent, translucent color. So it mixes well with other colors. And I've mixed a little bit of, where is it? Cadmium yellow medium, which is the orangey color right there. I've mixed that with my phthalo, and I'm getting that nice olivey color. And you can keep mixing water with it. It makes it go quicker. There. Okay. Let's look. Yeah. Cool. Now to color in the flowers. I don't want the white of the canvas to show through on this, so I'm being pretty exacting. I really like what happens when magenta and phthalo green mix. If I go outside of my line here a little bit onto the green. It's going to make a beautiful sort of purple. The finished frame. You can see that I did paint all around the sides so that the flowers wrap around, and I did the, some of the back of the frame just so that when you're at the party and somebody's behind you, it doesn't just look like a white frame. So next, make the straps for the back. And I'll staple this. Now for the face painting part. So sometimes these water-soluble crayons take a minute to soften up enough for the color to really apply. So this is your finished product. Have fun at your party. And I am Janice Sorensen. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make yourself a painting mask. In my next video, I'll show you how to paint your face like this. Can you tell that it's the same face paint, just two different frames? Pretty cool.